Hi, friends. So I know where you're at. Tell our viewers where you're at.
All right, so I am sitting in the dining room at Sorrel on Madison.
Which hasn't even had a chance to officially open yet, right?
No, we had Friends and Family Wednesday the 11th, had our opening on the 12th, and then closed our doors Monday then for the forced shutdown.
So I'm curious, so it's been a week. We're going on the second week of official self-quarantine. So what are you doing to stay busy?
Yeah, so to stay busy, I mean, I immediately went into meals to go since we could do to go and takeout. I have a bit of a background in that, so immediately put together a website. The night that I heard Sunday, when we got caught wind that this was going to happen, just jumped online and built the website immediately. So Monday morning, we were able to start advertising to be able to have our orders ready. It did really well for the first week without actually pushing it too hard. So I'm excited to see what can happen this week. Now that word's starting to get out, we always wanted to add some kind of meal to go element to the business. But we were thinking just like weekly Wednesday night meals, not pick up 6 days a week kind of situation, but we're making it work.
And so I imagine this is sort of the whole evolving new world for you and everybody else in this industry. So I mean, you've got to have like major freak out moments where you're just like, even if this quarantine is over in 2 months, like what is our business going to look like at that point, right?
You know, it's a pretty strange situation, but I think for morale and for the staff, I think that us as the business owners need to really show the best resolve that we can while still staying responsible. And that's the hardest thing, is like knowing what the right move is, because we're not getting great direction from our government. We're getting, you know, little things, but definitely from the federal level, we see what's happening. And from a state level, we're getting some, but I think this is a super complicated situation. So it's really tough for them just to say, you know, done, closing it down. It's much more easier said than done.
So our guest today
Yes.
Is in the same boat as you, although he has had a longer stretch of actually having and maintaining a restaurant since he opened. But David Nichols, who you've never met, so this will be your first little meet and greet.
Yeah.
He has 8 Row, and so I want him to join this conversation just to find out, you know, what he's doing. Hey, David, how are you doing?
Doing well. Yeah, congratulations on your opening, Chef, and sorry for the timing of everything. And
man.
You know,
Yeah, so what can you tell us as far as, you know, we all know that Seattle restaurants have been forced to shut down. So what are you doing? Like, what's your plan of action? How are you coping with all of this?
you know, coping is just exactly what we're doing. And as of last Tuesday, actually as last Monday, we had to let all of our employees go. We had a staff of 25 that we had to let go. And we kind of transitioned into all takeout, limited our menu, daily specials. And we're literally just kind of putting a Band-Aid on a very bad car wreck right now. And to kind of just echo what Aaron was saying, it's just, we're just kind of limping along to kind of figure out what we can do. And it's kind of hard right now with kind of not getting all the answers from government officials and what we kind of need to be doing. And the boat that we're kind of in right now is, you know, I've been in this space for 7 months as of a week ago, and you know, we're still having to pay rent. And so the reason our doors are open right now, and you know, we make maybe $500 to $1,000 on delivery, and the reason we're doing that is just to hopefully pay for those expenses that we just have to have. And you know, not knowing that there will be a stimulus package or some help from the government, that there could be a rent abatement coming our way, but just being able to keep these doors open and making the little amount of money that we're able to make a day is the direction that we needed to go, and the direction that we decided to keep our doors open to do delivery. You know, we're closed today, but kind of, you know, we've had great success with our community that we've kind of been able to lean on here, and it's been, you know, I don't want to say great, but it's been good. And I think Seattle's kind of come together in a way that I've never seen before. And the outreach that, you know, I think Seattle has shown to the restaurant community and the hospitality industry has been amazing thus far. And I think it's, you know, bonded this industry together more so. And I've been in Seattle for about 3 years, and I first got out here. One thing I didn't notice is that the industry was kind of, everyone here in Seattle kind of was doing their own kind of thing. And I think this has kind of brought this industry and is going to continue to bring this industry together in a sense that we are all in this. And I think it's going to, you know, bring a sense of community in a way that we've never sensed before. Like, I'm meeting and talking to chefs that I've never got to meet before. And, you know, being on this, you know, Zoom meeting, obviously you and I have met before, Julien, but meeting you, chef, in this sense, and I can't wait to eat in your restaurant when all this stuff blows over. But it's a great way to be able to, like, we're all in the same boat together, unfortunately, and we're all able to kind of lean on each other and pick each other's brains. How one entity is doing this, I'm able to kind of talk to chefs that I know and, like, what's working for them and how are they doing this? And, you know, we're all able to kind of, and have to kind of pivot on a dime and completely change our concepts in the middle day to day, and like what we're able to do to actually just survive day to day.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, and this goes to you too, Aaron, but as a consumer, it's really hard when you see all of your friends in the industry needing help. What is the best thing that we can do to help you guys?
I think that as consumers go, you know, I stay local. You know, I mean, that's the biggest thing is, like, whoever's in your neighborhood, if you care about those restaurants or any restaurant in the city, make sure that you're telling everybody, like, go to those places, you know, stay off Amazon, stay off, you know, stay out of your big stores and things like that, and support the little guys, because it's the only way for them to get through. And call on behalf of the restaurants and say to the governor and say to everybody else that, like, they need to make sure that the restaurants are protected, because the problem is rent abatement and stuff is great, but if we screw up our relationship with our landlord, they're not going to be great with us with renewing our lease down the road. So we're kind of stuck between a massive rock and a massive hard spot. Like, it's a lose-lose if you don't have a great relationship with your landlord who's going to understand, like, this situation.
Another thing that we're kind of also leaning on and pushing hard is our gift cards too. It's, you know, we're trying to do, you know, people come in and wanting to purchase those gift cards that they're able to kind of use at a later date in hope that we are open in 3 months. And it's a tough sell. And, like, and to echo Aaron's words again, it's leaning into the community and having the trust that the community that you've kind of built your establishment in, that you are going to be there for the long haul. And, you know, we've chosen Green Lake. I live near Green Lake, and I chose this community because I love it. And I love this community, and they've embraced us. And so it's trying to, first and foremost, give back to this community as much as we possibly can. And, you know, that's kind of what we're really leaning into. And, you know, as we aren't designed to do delivery. We've never done takeout in the last 7 months. So it's having to get to-go boxes and all these things. And we're learning as we go. Every day is different, and we don't have Uber Eats. We don't have Caviar. And we're probably not going to do that, because then that percentage of those sales go to those larger kind of delivery service as well. And we're rubbing pennies together to make anything work. And so we're probably not going to, I don't want to say we're not going to go to that model. As of today, we're not going to that model. But like I said, we change up day to day. And so it is really just leaning into the community right now.
You and Aaron, I'm just curious, like, I feel very thankful that the rug wasn't pulled out from under me very quickly. I mean, you got no warning that your businesses were going to be shut down. Like, have either of you had a chance to grieve or just have like that breakdown? Like, what happened? What was it? Was it just this realization of just like, Jesus Christ, I may never open my restaurant again? Like, you know, what was it for you?
I mean, for me, I don't know, I like a challenge, and so, you know, I was already dealing with a challenge just opening a place, let alone like having to bail water, you know, even, you know, faster now than I ever thought I'd need to. But I just didn't. I think a lot of us, it's there wasn't time.
How about you, David?
Yeah, I'm the same with Aaron. You know, it's like as of a week ago, you know, I didn't think that this was going to happen. Like, you know, a few weeks ago when we had to start, you know, reducing hours of our staff, and then, you know, laying off a few of our support staff. And then all of a sudden, you know, the rug was kind of pulled out underneath us. Like, oh my gosh, we do kind of have to let all of our staff go. But there hasn't been a moment that I'm like, okay, the doors are just going to be closed. And I think as chefs and, cooks, we are very resilient people. And like Aaron said, we will always kind of find a way. And I'm someone who like relishes in chaos, and I do well in this. And this is, this is very new. It's uncharted territory. And I'm kind of sick of hearing those words, but it is. And this is a dream of mine, as I'm sure as of yours, Chef. We've always looked at this probably as like, I want to do this and I'm going to do this. And there hasn't probably been a moment that has crossed my mind like, this restaurant's going to close up and then now what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to fight tooth and nail for this thing to stay open. And it's not just for me and for this restaurant, but it's for the staff that I want to have a job that they can come back into in however many weeks or months that they can come back into. And we've created this home and this family and this atmosphere and culture here at 8 Row that this restaurant couldn't be without them. And so it's on me and my brother and Kate to continue to that go to, so they have this restaurant to come back into.
I think that's a huge thing. Like, and I love that you're saying it that way, because that's exactly how I'm looking at it. I mean, it's really important right now that we put up a good front, I think, in the beginning, and we make sure that, especially with certain people who are on our team, depending on how that is, and ourselves for that matter, because, at the end of the day, we have an income as well as owners. I mean, it's not like we get paid out of thin air.
What is nice to hear both of you saying is when we reopen. So that makes me feel good that two people who I love in this industry are just planning to be back when we are back to normal. So that's actually very comforting to hear that. And David, before we let you go, I do know that right before this shit hit the fan here with the restaurants, you did get engaged. So I'm glad that you have somewhat of a bright spot in your life right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
we were going to get married also when all this crap was going on, because we thought we could get like a cheap dinner somewhere. So,
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and good luck out there. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to either one of us.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Best of luck, Chef. Thank you so much.
Bye, David.
All right. Thank you.
Do you have any final words? What do you want to say?
I think that right now, the biggest thing that all of us can do is be really supportive and patient with each other. Make sure that we're doing all that we can to support our local communities and be really smart and safe about this. And I think having more conversations like this is really helpful. I think it really boosts morale. I know for myself it does. And I think that the more people can talk about it, there's a level of catharsis that comes from that. And for them to know there will be a tomorrow, and we just have to stick to working hard and being smart and having more conversations that'll lead to more creativity to weather this, and then just be ready for what happens after. Because I think, as sad and terrible of a situation as it is right now, though the sunnier side will come. And when it does, for those of us who are in a position where we can potentially, find some success from this, we need to band together in the best way and make sure that we're really supporting each other through that. I already have seen some really great community between restaurants, and I think that we just need to really keep that going as much as we possibly can.
Yeah. All right. Well, be safe out there.
Yeah, you too. Stay safe.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.